Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Vicky 3, episode number 6. We're going to continue trying to gain control over our expanded region. We're going to begin this time, I think, with Hedyaz. But before we do that, one thing we need to do is with recent law changes, increased institutions, our 1,000 spare bureaucracy is suddenly spent, and it's going to quickly come with penalty. Right now we don't have much on the queue for construction, so adding to the queue, we're going to go ahead and get into government administration. However, as opposed to just expanding, right now there's a lot of options when it comes to increasing the use of paper. Right now we're looking at a 3,000 expense for an extra 590. I can say that it's not quite amounting to that, but it's also looking like it's coming with a little more complication, probably in terms of paper, one would think. Tenant farmers, here comes the serfdom one, and it's critical. It's those stupid local governors that we just cannot seem to get rid of. We're probably going to end up having to backtrack, and yes, paper is going to take a bit of a hit for this. Let's go ahead and, well, there you go. There's one way to snuff out that issue. Dyes and sulfur are going to become an issue. Do we even have sulfur going on yet? We do. We do have sulfur mines. So we'll see how that one translates. Already offsetting. Yeah, it puts sulfur under a bit of a burden, but not massive. But this is a problem. Like, this is going to have to pass very quickly, or we're going to have to backtrack. Because you could see all of the key nations, or key states, most of them, would leave and join. That would be a heck of a civil war. It would finally put the local governors in their place. Got them down to 34%, but we just cannot seem to get rid of them. Interest group political strength, love that. We'll take that. That's actually a really good outcome on that one. But at this rate, we don't have long enough. There's no way we're going to hold this off to get this passed. So weakening them certainly helped, but it's not going to do the trick alone. Right. I was supposed to be going to war with Hedyaz, but facing a revolution. Ooh, it went away. It went away. Oh, I'm not sure what... They changed their mind. They're weaker. Some stuff expired. They like us more. I don't know. Advance. 10% chance. 5% chance. Weakening the local governors. And the Sunni ulema. Yes, we'll take that. That's a strong... we're up to 46 now, and the advance of the stalls dropped to 20%. I'm not sure what changed there, but my oh my, did it change in a good way. And we're already back up to a positive balance of 10k. Reserves at 8 million. Infamy is almost completely gone. Back to Hedyaz, who have a defensive pact with Oman. Will they join in? And of course Egypt, tributary. Small amount of infamy is it. We're almost out of it completely. It's iffy, but let's do it. Okay, Egypt instantly in the war. Russia is now leaning, even without adding anything. Looks like Great Britain could, and they're number one right now. They could be swayed. They could be swayed. I doubt they would be terribly helpful, but how hopeful would Russia be if Russia joins? There you go. Russia has sided with Egypt. So, ooh, transfer states. Okay, well, what state do you want? Amhara? That's Amhara. Well, this could work out, though. If we give Great Britain Amhara, we could take all of Egypt, all of Hedyaz. Could we get some of Russia? Will we have enough Great Britain, there you go. Great Britain has sided with us. And there is our Russian front for all of our other units. 3 more armies. Well, this is becoming a big affair. This is becoming a big affair. For Great Britain, 14,000 for Russia, 10,000 for us, 9,000. We're not that far behind Russia in terms of military might. With the help of Great Britain, I think we can just about take them. On to war goals. We have 65 maneuvers remain. Now we could totally turn this into a war against Russia. But I kind of want to finish Hejaz first. Finishing Egypt. That's expensive. I think going after Russia is going to be easier than going after, so like Bessarabia. Bessarabia, a fair bit of infamy, but we'll go for that. 28 more. What's Russian car is going to be like? Is there a return? No. Okay, that's a fairly easy one. You got Armenia. Armenia is doable. Barely puts us above 50. Leaves us with 9 maneuvers. Looks like the only thing left that we could do, besides conquer a random state somewhere in the middle of Russia, which definitely does not make any sense to do, the only remaining thing to do is make sure that we're getting both states if they back down and be done with Hejaz. So it's only 2 additional infamy. We'll make that a primary. This is going to be expensive. We've got 8 million. We'll be okay. And Russia is only barely stronger than us, so as long as Britain actually sends troops to fight, for one thing, we're going to have a very easy time here taking Hejaz and Egypt, knocking them out of the war. We are not going to conquer Egypt out of this, though. It's Hejaz and it's Russia. That is law enforcement. Hit level 2. Plus 47 here. Nice. And there's still units moving their way towards that front. Let's go ahead and move deploy there. Russia, no, 70 units in their fleet. And no British ships to help out. So without the British fleet, we don't need to have a fight in the Black Sea. If they arrive, we'll jump in and support. Oh, they're all moving because this is now proper Great Britain. They conquered it. We are giving a state to Britain if this war does happen. And at this point, it's looking like it will. They want a return of Blue Nile. That's here to Egypt. Expensive. Very expensive what we're doing, and it's going to last a while, but... Oh, come on, it's stalled? There's 20% chance of stall. We lost 5%. Alright. There we go. Officially, the war is with Egypt. Checking in. Great Britain. 111 on the front with Russia. Very small numbers here. This has combined into two fronts. This is one of the only fronts where we don't have a significant advantage, but this is looking like it's going to be a pretty dang easy war. And as they did not back down, Hejaz is going to be gone. theoretically, assuming we have the strength that appears we have to win. But we're going to conquer some of Russia out of this, which will weaken them, so that in the future we could come out of this slightly stronger than Russia. This is crazy. Illegitimate government. 4 legitimacy right now. We're at 42%. Disease among the wounded. It literally just happened. 1 year recovery rate. We'll turn the recovery rate down. And God's will. Okay, yeah, let's get double. No, let's get rid of the popularity. Or add popularity to a party that's not that one that's been driving us nuts. Okay, we hold this territory. We hold Hejaz. We've given this state to Great Britain already, as they've joined us for the war, so it's theirs now. We've given up 1 state for this, but we're going to gain a lot more, and that was not a significant state. It was a pretty weak one, and I don't think we're winning this war without. Maybe. Like just maybe. Russia's only 1,000 points stronger than us, but we would have had to hold them off long enough to get these. But then beating Russia, that's a very different matter to get those goals, 'cause we're already down to +8, but the war is going to kind of continue on, right? Hejaz, they'll capitulate. Egypt can capitulate and be out of the war, though we're not taking anything from them. But actually beating Russia and taking these targets, easier said than done. And so we wouldn't have been able to do that without Britain. It would have been in Egypt and Hejaz target. Or without Great Britain. Giving up the state, not ideal, but I think it's a good trade-off. It's a good trade-off, and great. Local governors get stronger, or intelligentsia, we're going to have to make them weaker. 15% chance, up to 57 now. 83%, we're starting to get control here. We've already claimed, looks like 2 states. Egypt, out of the war. That'll just be, I would think, a 5-year truce. Advantage got a little smaller. Pretty significant numbers. Is this a separate front now? No. This is still that same front. Our control over Moldavia will be one of the bonus outcomes from this war. A gentler Ottoman Empire. We're so gentle. Yes. Yes. Oh, I love it. Okay. Infamy. Down by 5. And big bonus for an upcoming election here for the intelligentsia. We're losing gold pretty fast. We've lost 2 million here, but we're getting pretty dang close to being done with this thing. We're down to just Russia now, right? Yeah, there's no allies on their side, and no reason for Britain to want out of this war anytime soon. They're still looking strong. We are looking strong. 24 units in that fleet, but we're kind of weak. What's 19 offense, 24 defense, 19 offense, 25 defense. We lost our commander again. Oh my gosh. How? There was 2 commanders, both dead already. They haven't been in charge for long. 40 to 24 is enough. Law into consideration, and yes, okay. How weak they are all of a sudden, down to 20%. Industrialists want slavery ban. I like that one, but wealth voting is going to be a lot easier to pass. We don't have the movement yet, but look at that progression. We've got the key states we need here. We can throw this small army in on that side, close it down, collect that other state. But now we're starting to advance more quickly, and we hold the ground that we need to hold to make the war goal go in our favor. So this will tick right on down now. There we go. Close that state out right back to the front. We already hold every state we will claim out of this war, meaning it's going to be much easier. I'm not going to construct anything for a little bit. It's going to help us cut down on the negative. Still 20k deficit for now, while all of the armies are mobile. We now control this one. Another fleet coming in its place. We'll take them on. If they would unite, they would be stronger than us. I do have my other fleet, but it's 4 strength right now. Still a near 80% advantage to states that are both actively being taken. I can't believe, though, that they're still +7. They're not decreasing very fast. But that's the thing. Low enemy occupation. Yes, we occupy, but they have so many states. 62%, and we don't. It's just an advance. No way. Ah, yay, more loyalists. We'll take that. Yeah, it's such a high chance of success, and yet it's not. It takes the advance approach. At least it didn't stall, I guess, since there is a chance. Another state held now. Well in control of the front, and they finally have a negative balance. We're still holding the Black Sea. 94%. Russia, their forces are now really struggling to stop the advance, to hold the advance. We just claimed Crimea. Before we go any further, let's pause for a second. Hedjaz. Yeah, 5 years incorporated, and that gives us a nice surrounding here. Great Britain is there. They're present with us, but if we can make a proper friend out of them, they'll serve much better as a friend than Spain. I mean, Spain is still 4,700. They are so weak, and they've done nothing in this game. If we can get Great Britain to be a proper friend, they don't have an ally. They do not have an ally. How far off are we from -62? But relations are cold. Let's improve. We'd love to have Great Britain as our #1 ally. Britain and the Ottomans, best of buds. Sure. Oof, look at that expansion now. This thing's starting to open up a bit more rapidly. They're at -89. It's nearly done. Nearly done. I don't remember how many states were taken. Is it 3? Is it 4? It's not a lot, but it's still enough to weaken Russia. They capitulate. It was 3. There's one little pocket left there, but that's okay. So we got Bessarabia, and we got the chunk of Kars, and we got Armenia. We did not get Dobruja, which I had selected. Infamy is down to 41 already, with everyone being demobilized. We're back to a positive balance, 10k. We ate up 3 million in gold reserves for that war, but I think it was well worth it. We traded 1 state to Great Britain, got all of Hedjaz and the rest of Yemen, and we got 3 Russian states. What happened to the 4th? I don't know. But Moldavia, will that defensive pact end? They will accept. There you go. So we've reduced their autonomy finally. Still not passing, just advance. Weird. 10% enactment chance. Definitely don't want to strengthen. There's that playwright again. Let's take the bonus though. We gotta get this thing passed. We had a strong potential there for a bit that would have seen a civil war. But we've pushed a little bit into Russia. And one would think they've turned their military right on down. Holy crap, they're down to 3,000. So we broke them a bit in that war. They didn't have the reserves that we had. Okay, let's go ahead and find out what's going on market-wise. Iron, both deficit and a bit of, market price. Tools and coal. Iron, let's go ahead and turn that up. Increases the demand on tools and coal. And let's just increase production straight off the bat here. Just a small increase, but as you change the market, you will inevitably set yourself up in the long term. Illegitimate government, who's in control right now? Oh man, they are all over the place. I like that though, the armed forces and the intelligentsia in control. Still 73% chance now of success. Okay, new states have been acquired. Bessarabia for 1. Let's incorporate 21 years. Receive it. And cars we already have. This is the other one to incorporate, just 5 years as you expand there in the Caucasus. Still number one, but down to 27%. We've really brought them down from, what, 60-70% clout at the start of this series. But we've still not been able to break them and have to replace them with, like literally anybody else. The armed forces is usually one of the easier ones to get in control, and then they become problematic, or the rural folk or the Sunni ulama, like those groups can usually, or the petite bourgeoisie, like you can flip it, you can get rid of those landowners fairly early, but we've not been able to do that in this series. They've had a lot of strength. Yemenite secession movement. It's incorporated in Yemen. Or is this a Hejaz situation? Nope, just Yemen. It's fine, they're already incorporated. Okay. Yemen is going to open up 2 fronts. They're not going to have very many troops, so we'll take our 2 smallest forces, which we have a couple new ones. And our Arabia army all just seceded, so great. Law advancement again does not pass. We're at 89% now, and we're still stuck on trying to get tenant farmers going. All this really does is decrease the political strength of the landowners by half. Doesn't do much else, but that is that huge step we've been waiting for a long time. I have a hard time there, but they'll sweep right on through. Down to 40 on the infamy. It's not too bad. 2 small armies mobilized. Still have a positive balance. Not too bad, but it also looks like we're not quite... Well, we are using all of our construction. Steel's the biggest markup. It's the only one that's really bad on that front, so we need to continue with steel. But steel has been such an issue for us as we can't seem to get them employed. Ankara in particular, they're up to 5,000, so things have kickstarted. Aden seemed to have been the one to kickstart it, so we'll expand that one. But Skopje is also doing well, so we'll expand that one. All right, war with our rebels has broke out, and we've also just finished our wave of research. I want to get railways done. We have a few states that are really hurting on infrastructure. Well, it won't be cheap. It's going to help us. Those are definitely states that are losing something. Forgot we unlocked colonial affairs, and we have not started colonizing at all. Right now we can't establish a colony. The places that are available for it. There's one we could definitely get in, but we are not going to be quick there. We could jump in on this western coast or South America. South America. Untapped potential. Looks like there's some sort of conflict going on down there. Tenant Farmers has finally passed, dropping, even though it's plus 25, it was plus 50. Dropping the strength. That's a big step for us. This 3rd Ottoman fleet needs to be wiped out and go to the Indian fleet. Perfect. That one's now at 13. The Arabia army is down to 3, but we're still in war, so we'll get those units back. We cannot colonize here because Argentina has the rights. So looking at what Argentina has, they have 1,000 in strength. They do have 44 flotillas at 676. That's what we would have to beat. And we are stronger than, but not by much. But that's all you need, right? Well, let's try to expand this. Upgrade our capital ships. We now need ironclads, and getting steel hulls is going to make the difference for that one. There we go. We have Yemen back. Still incorporated. Negative balance for the moment, though, as we are upgrading our fleet. It's coming with a bit of a cost. Our Arabian army is back up to 19 units. Africa Corps is somehow much smaller than it was. That doesn't make much sense. We gave away one state. That state was not responsible for that many units. It might have been, I suppose. We have drastically increased the strength of our navy with this move to the ironclads, away from the wooden ships. We definitely have enough strength now to take on Argentina, as they hold the colonial rights for this area for whatever reason. I still don't quite understand how that one works. How one nation can have total control and you can't. There's no option to gain total control over that. They are allied with Chile, so it looks like we'd be fighting Argentina and Chile, and then there's that colonization rights. And see, it's not even something we can take away from them. We could just take states, like say Patagonia. 6 infamy is what we would pick up, but again, I don't want to start a war right now when we have infamy already and a negative debt. So I think we're gonna sit on that for a while. Truce with Oman is expired. They have 3 states remaining. Infamy is small, and small. They're all in the 3 percentile. So we'd pick up about 10% infamy to take all of Oman, who have no friends. Persia, meanwhile, have a defensive pact with Kalat and Afghanistan, but they do have a trade agreement still with Great Qing, and that was the inhibitor before, is that Great Qing has an interest in kind of stopping us from expanding there. With that law behind us, what could be next? We gotta watch out on the bureaucracy side, but I'm working on that. Slave trade, schools, 8%. National Guard and Secret Police have a decent chance and are popular-ish. Home Affairs one is definitely the best we could do. Right now there's nothing with National Guard. We'd have additional battalions that can be mobilized. Spain is damaging relations with us. They have switched to Portugal. I hate that you don't get an announcement about that. It just happens. So if you're not paying close enough attention, like, it's gone, and we don't even have a truce or anything. So it happened a while ago. Britain really do not like us right now either. France is the one that could. And are they still... Yeah, German Empire. They are still friends. We still have a defensive pact, but France can't take on the ally right now. Been a lot of changes within industries, probably over the last 20 minutes of gameplay, quite a few years covered in that ground. In fact, we're all the way up to 1892 already. It's surprising that we are that far into this thing, but we're still losing 30k. And a lot of the changes that I've made have kind of set things back by a few K as we're growing and expanding. Construction's up 5 more points with 1 more unit, and that's part of that ongoing expense. But gold reserves are down to under 3 million, so right now we really need to focus on building economy for the moment. We have, with the attempt to hurt the local governors, and they are getting smaller and smaller. They're down to 26%. They're still the strongest. Still. We've done thing after thing after thing to make them weaker. Yes, they are weaker than they once were, but they just continue to show their might. Market price, though, nothing is doing poorly. We're doing pretty well on that front. Fertilizer, steel, furniture, as always. This episode, we've definitely seen some positives, but a little bit of a roller coaster. We expanded our construction by 5 points, but we are 30k in debt running balance. We made some strong expansions with Hediaz, our first foray into Russia, and we gained some states. Made them a little weaker. Quite a bit weaker initially, at least. So that's fantastic. We are about to have an election. We have weakened the local governors down to just 26% strength now. But no matter everything we do, They still are putting up a fight. They're still resistant. They don't like us more than anybody else right now. And keeping them in check has been a struggle and continues to be a struggle. The Army is getting bigger, better, stronger. The Navy is getting bigger, better, and stronger right now. So we are seeing some gains, and it's the naval changes that have been the most costly right now. And our industry is still catching up. Hiring enough people to build the ships, to maintain the ships of a better Navy has been very expensive. Very expensive. And that's where our 30K debt is right now. But here's the thing. We've gone from 30 to like 35K population, or 30 million, that is, to now 40 million plus. We got 41.6 million. Our standard of living is rising fairly quickly. It's gone up by a full point, where literacy is kind of holding steady. GDP has grown a bit, but not drastically. It's up maybe a million. But here's the thing about now nearly 42 million people. We were at 6 million radicals. It's down to a little over 5. We were at 100K loyalists. It's up to 700K. So we actually have made some gains there with the people liking us a little bit more. But we still have some infamy to pay off. It's not severe, but 26 points is definitely still 26 points. So waiting for that to pay off, waiting to right this situation here while we still have money. We were at 3 million, it's now down to 2, before we make inroads into South America and becoming an active player there as we continue to be an active player in Africa. Our truce is down to 11 months with Egypt, so it's been 4 years already since the end of the war. We covered a good amount of time. Persia remains difficult, as they're friends with Great Qing, friends-ish, and Great Qing wants to come to their aid, so I'm really nervous about trying to start a war with the strongest military power on the planet. Oman, they seem less interested in, but it's a little bit of a difficult region to try to make inroads into with Great Qing, looming as a threat. But if we could just get to be friends with Great Britain, allies with Great Britain, I would not fear anyone at that point, us combined with them. I mean, we are growing in strength. Not really, actually. Right now it's holding steady, 9,000. It's the Navy where we've grown in strength up to 2,000. Still weak. It's number 11. We're number 7 for the Army here. No changes with U.S.-Mexico this time. No changes in South America. No changes in North America other than a Swiss revolt that's happening right now. Kingdom of Heaven, did they grow? Did they take some land there from Switzerland? Maybe, but not likely. I think what we're really looking at right now is France has taken a lot of West Africa. Britain is still working on parts of Africa, but we've got to make our push to get these lands here fairly soon. And if we're going to go this way, we need to go that way. Otherwise, we need to pick somewhere else to go, like South America. But waiting on that infamy to decay is tricky. Is Russia still weak? They are. They have rebounded a bit, but at 5,000, they're pretty weak. And our truce is going to be a bit longer with them, isn't it? Yeah, still 21 months left. They do have the alliance with Austria-Hungary, so attacking them straight would be difficult. Getting them to join a war against, like, say, Egypt, that's one where we could take from both Egypt and from Russia, and I'd be happy with that. And we wouldn't, at this point anyway, we wouldn't need Great Britain to join in, so that's something going forward. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.